keep hearing this stupidity, so I think it's time for us to put it to rest. Hey, what's up, nerd fam? This is your boy Gershon. I want to welcome you to Enter the Nerd. Today I want to talk about something stupid that I keep on hearing over and over again. And the reason why I say it's stupid, not that the people that are saying it are stupid, but this notion is stupid because it is verifiably incorrect. What would I be talking about, you might ask? There is something that I've been hearing in a whole bunch of these blurred groups, whatever groups, that most black comic book characters, whether it's DC or Marvel, mostly have electric powers. That most of them have electric powers. And there's several lists you can probably look up where like, oh, it's a stereotype, most of them. Okay, and sometimes they even let it spill over into anime. But we'll focus more on the Marvel, DC, or just comic books in general. So, I realized, where could some of these people be getting this from? They don't really read comics like that. And even some of my friends who noticed me being a little bit perturbed by this thing, they go, well, they don't read comics like you do, so they don't really know how many heroes are out there. Here's the issue with that. Even without reading the comics, the heroes that have appeared in popular media, cartoons, shows, disprove that narrative that most of the comic book characters or comic book based characters that are black have electric powers. So these are the ones that they normally name. Static, not Static Shock. Static Shock is a show. Static is a character's name. Black Lightning. If they're a certain age, they might talk about Vulcan or Black Vulcan, right? And they always, for some reason, include Storm because she has the power of, they'll see lightning. But her power isn't electric. She controls the weather, which is water, wind, even air pressure. And she can do this on any planet that she's on. She doesn't have electric powers. But for the sake of their argument, let's just add that on to it. Even though we all know it's not true, we're gonna put the powers right up here on the screen for you, for each of the ones that we're gonna name here. So what is that? 4 so far? What was that? Static, Black Lightning, the Black Vulcan guy, which most of you probably don't even know, and Basic Storm. Some people try to even put Miles Morales on there. Just shut up. But let's just use those 4, right? So what other black superheroes have appeared in popular media that don't have that? Because apparently it has to be less than 4, right? But let's just see. We have Spawn. It's pretty popular, right? Movie, cartoon, right? War Machine, video games, also cartoons, right? Luke Cage, pretty popular right now. Falcon, I might say so. Okay. Monica Rambeau, who just now got into like the shows and everything, but she's there. So right now we're at 5, which I believe we're at 5. They'll correct me, editor, if I'm not. Either way, we're almost tied with what we have, but there's more. Cyborg, right? Mal Duncan, or Guardian, because he's also appeared, all of them have appeared in Teen Titans and all that. Bumblebee. Vixen, she's appeared in the CW. Bronze Tiger has also appeared in multiple things and movies, in like a cartoon movie, and Bishop, right? Because Bishop was also in the cartoons, right? And he was also in the movies as well. Darwin was also in the movies. The X-Men does not have a Black Panther. Really? There was more than double the amount that did not have electric powers than there was that did. What are we talking about? Why are we spreading these kind of narratives when they're clearly a Google search away of not being true? I honestly don't know. And, my boy made a point. Even if a whole bunch of them did have electric powers, it doesn't feed into some type of stereotype. It's not offensive. And usually, electric powers are very visual. As a matter of fact, if you were to Google it, I'm sure you'd realize it's actually more white characters that have electric powers than that. But then a lot of people might say, well, that's because it's more white characters in general. And you know what? That could be true. But if you're talking about even for the ratio, it's still not the majority. Not even near the majority. And if I start getting into comic book characters that haven't even seen the light of day when it comes to the media, you know, like the Blue Marvels, the Cinches, the Bloodwinds, there's so many that are comic book based. All the people that are in Team One, everybody that's in Blood Syndicate, the people who are in Image Comics. There are a whole bunch of black characters that do not have electric base powers. Can we put this to bed now? Seeing as how I just gave you a visual of a whole bunch, to keep on with this narrative is just lying. If you don't read the comics, because this is the problem. If they say, I don't know of any besides these, I can get on board with that. But for them to be like, oh yeah, in the comics, there's nothing but, it's not true. It clearly is not true. Now, why would people want to go with this narrative? Because everybody just kind of just loves to feel like they're a victim of something, to be quite honest with you. Now, if you want to complain about something, complain about why a whole bunch of these characters that A, are either in some of the general media or never made it to it, are always downplayed or taken out of the original context for which they were written and made into really dumb versions. Like, for example, Monica Rambeau. Monica Rambeau is the first female Captain Marvel, and she doesn't come from a single parent household. Why did they decide to make her a stereotype in the movies, right? Little things like that. Why do they do things instead of, you know, focusing on something dumb that isn't true? Why don't you focus on the things that are actually happening? There's no need to race swap any characters. We've got plenty. Why does that keep happening? Why is it that the characters that happen to be black in the actual comics, they don't put the same grit behind them? They go, well, people didn't like it, so let's move on. Whereas you can see with any other character that does not work, they will keep forcing them down the fans' throat. Just keep on doing it. Doesn't happen too much with some of the black characters. It's just true. Anybody reading comics could understand they have a limited amount of times to fail before they move on. There is some truth to things like that, but most of the people don't know because they weren't not reading the comic books, but they're looking at the general media, which is fine. Some people look at the general media as a better way to be able to absorb some of the comic book material. And I'm actually okay with that, especially if you're a casual. And that's not an insult. Everybody's a casual at something. It's true. But maybe we shouldn't speak with such authority on things that we just don't know. And making a claim like most of the black characters in comic books have electric powers is just a lie. And I just showed you. So please, going forward from this video, if you thought that, please unthink it and look up any of these characters. Look up the books they come from. Get the Marvel app or DC Universe, whatever. Start reading about them and feel happy that what you thought was a narrow power scope isn't there. I forgot Rage. I'm forgetting a couple of them. I hope I said Night Thrasher already. I hope I did say that because he's one of my favorite characters. Honestly, Midnight Sun. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them that are just dope. Ambrose Chase. He's in the Wildstorm universe, so I mean, we might not ever see that guy. Battalion and his father. Sentinel and his sister. Yeah, they're just wow, so many. Just look them up. Please just look up Divinity. Sorry, I'm just thinking about so many of them. There's a lot. Anyway, go look it up. Go look it up. Go read and stop lying. Enter the nerd.